Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to showcase my off-meta, no-pet, hybrid Magicka Sorcerer build for the Lost Depths DLC patch. This build is capable of pulling over 107k on the parse dummy and is viable for most content. This is not a super beginner-friendly build, but rather more for endgame players who want to play without those annoying sorc pets. Thus, mythics and trial gear will be included. This build is meant to be used in organized group content, most notably trials and dungeons. Although not optimized for solo content, it could still be used for that as well. Furthermore, I'll be including a ranged option for those who would prefer to stay at range, and with that being said, here we go. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points into Magicka, and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a high elf. I think high elves have access to some of the best passives for Magicka DPS. For the food, we're going to be running the usual. Clockwork Citrus Fillet is going to be our #1 pick. A cheaper and almost as good alternative would be Witch Mother's Potent Brew. And lastly, if you're parsing or need more sustain, then Ghastly Eyeball is always the go-to. So for the potions, we're just going to be running Essence of Spell Power. With the range version, you do have access to both Major Prophecy and Major Sorcery, but you only get Major Prophecy on your front bar, so it's just better to use that so you can ensure full uptimes on it. Make sure you have 3 points in medicinal use from the Alchemy skill line to ensure that you get the full duration of the potions. So for the CP for the blue tree, we're going to be running Exploiter, Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, and Wrathful Strikes. If you don't have access to Off Balance or you need more crit damage, swap out Exploiter for Fighting Finesse or Backstabber. For the red tree, we're just going to be running Rejuvenation, Balanced Vitality, and Sustained by Suffering and Celerity are both going to be your flex spots. You can swap those out for whatever you need for content. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Pillar of Nirn paired with 5 pieces of Reliquin, a monster set Zon, and Harpooner's Waiting Kilt. So breaking down in the main hand, we have a Reliquin Dagger Nirnhoned with a flame damage enchant. In the offhand, Pillar Nirn Dagger charged with a poison damage enchant. For the back bar, a Pillar Nirn Inferno Staff infused with a weapon damage enchant. For the head and shoulders, we have 2 pieces of Zons, both in light, traded in divines with max mag enchants. For the body, we have 4 pieces of Reliquin, all traded in divines with max mag enchants, and Harpooners, which is divines with a max mag enchant as well. And lastly, for the jewelry, we're just running 3 pieces of Pillar of Nirn jewelry, all with spell damage enchants traded in Bloodthirsty. For the skills, we're going to be running Haunting Curse, Crystal Fragments, Mage's Wrath, Deadly Cloak, Bound Aegis, and Greater Storm Atronach. On the back bar, Barb Trap, Stampede, Hurricane, Carve, Bound Aegis, and Power Overload. So for the rotation, we're just going to be running a dynamic rotation, meaning we're going to keep up skills as they fall off and use our spammable in between. So in priority, keep up Carve, Stampede, Haunting Curse, Barb Trap, Hurricane, and Deadly Cloak. Make sure you swap to your back bar every 10 seconds to proc your pillar. So if you do need to recast a skill early, Stampede is a good option. Our spammable is going to be Crystal Fragments, and when we hit 20% or execute range, we can start using our Mage's Wrath. But when we still get Crystal Frag procs from using Mage's Wrath, keep casting the procs. Use your Greater Storm Atronach whenever it's ready, and Power Overload is there to ult dump. And one last thing, make sure that you don't stay on your back bar for too long, meaning don't cast more than 3 skills because you are only 1 barring Reliquin, so you have a chance of that falling off. So to be safe, just cast 3 skills. So first up, swapping to a range build, you can replace Deadly Cloak on your front bar with Inner Light, Stampede and Carve with Unstable Wall and Degeneration. Swap your daggers and 2-hand out for Staff and Staff, so still keep Reliquin front bar and Pillar back bar. If you just swap those, then you should have 4-piece Reliquin active on your back bar as well. So just with Pillar jewelry plus staff and then 4-piece Relic body and staff. You'll have 6 pieces of Reliquin, but it'll ensure that you get 4 pieces when you're on your back bar. So for gear alternatives, instead of running Reliquin and Pillar combo, you can swap it out for other sets. Some notable mentions would be Coral Riptide, Mantle of Sororia, Aegis Collar, and Whirl of Depths. And if you want like a budget build, then Order's Wrath with Hunnings or Julianos would work perfectly fine as well. For the monster set, instead of Zons, you can run Maul, Kiarnar, or even Stormfist. And for the mythic, instead of running Harpooners, you can run something like Death Dealer, Mora, or even something like Sea Serpent's Coil would be okay. And I think that wraps it up. Thanks for watching the video as always, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. My website is now available to the public, and I'll try my best to update it for every build I make. Furthermore, I'd like to get into content creation full time, so I've started a channel membership for those who would like to help support me. One added perk is that members get build request priority, Both of the links will be in the description. And lastly, if you feel like the builds have helped you in any way, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thanks again for watching. Attached is a parts and outfit section, and see you in the next one.